Happy Thursday thoughts. I thought I'd invite my son Aden into the conversation
Hello.
this morning. And Aden, this is a pretty big week for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What's going on in your life?
It is currently finals week. Well, I just finished.
Yes.
Finals week is, as you know, always a hectic time.
Yeah.
Finishing out. I only had 3 classes, so it wasn't crazy, but just trying to keep my grades up.
Yeah.
You know?
In fact, you've had the best grades you've ever had in your
Yes.
scholastic career here in this first year of Bible college.
Yes. Yeah. It's when you pay for school, you almost want to do better.
Yes, you're motivated to do that, right?
Yeah.
And then this Sunday, something kind of important's happening for you.
This Sunday is yes. Actually, to think about it, I'm like, well, it's my last day of internship, but it's also turning 18.
19.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was 2 years ago this week that we did something that still is considerably insane, and that we left paradise in the middle of a worldwide pandemic to move to San Diego and take on a new church, mom taking on a new job, you going to a new school. And tell me about how you felt about that. Were you so thrilled?
I was super, yeah. They, I just remember they came into my room and, you know, both of them opened the sliding glass door and walked in. And when it's both your parents coming in your room, you know there's something really bad.
Something's up.
Yeah, and so, you know, my mind was like, what did I do? Like going through every single possible thing.
Who died?
Did I leave my dog in the oven? So, but they came in and they said, we're moving. And I was like, okay, wow. That was, we had moved quite a bit prior, but this one was shocking. I thought Oahu was going to be somewhere that we were going to stay for a little while.
Yeah, we'd been there for 5 years at that point.
We were very comfortable there. I was going into my senior year, about to go into my senior year, and yeah, they told me we were moving, and it was a shocker. And they're like, oh yeah, also we're moving on May 15th. I'm like, oh, sick.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
It wasn't so happy.
No.
Yeah, and as it came out, well, I mean, I knew that you were kind of struggling with your faith, but as you shared later on, and even most recently in a message at House Youth, you were angry not just with us, but with God.
Oh yeah. I think the first thing you do when those kind of, for what seemed like a trial, when those kind of things happen, you're like why would this be happening? I think we immediately put the blame on God, or if not God, I put the blame on my parents. I'm like, why? I mean, like, why would we be moving just because you want a new job? You know, like that in my head, that's what it was. Is like, okay, you're taking me away from my life because you want a new job, and that just seemed weird to me. And I was almost like, God, like, why would you be calling them there? I didn't understand that whole concept of calling. So for me, it was just like, why would we be moving because you feel like you should move? Like, why would a gut feeling mean we have to leave all of this?
Right.
Yeah.
And Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths.
Yeah.
And I didn't even understand, as your dad, I didn't even understand why God was doing this. I just knew that he was.
Yeah.
And so it's super hard as a parent to lead your child to go somewhere when you don't even understand why he is doing that. But now looking back in retrospect, I can see all the things that weren't clear to me back then. All the things that God was setting up for us and our blessing and our benefit.
Oh yeah.
What have you learned over the last 2 years?
Well, biggest thing is what that scripture says, is lean not on your own understanding. I think if the Bible literally tells us that our understanding is not what we should be leaning on, our strength is not what we should be leaning on, then that is definitely not what we should be doing. And that's what I was doing. Yeah. As I was like, okay, if we're gonna be moving, if I'm gonna be leaving this all behind, then I'm gonna do this myself. Like I'm gonna go into California, and I'm gonna get friends by myself. I'm gonna do this by myself. I'm gonna do this. And I was just angry. I was mad. And I kind of was just doing a lot of things that weren't beneficial at all to me. But it was on my own understanding, and it was on my own strength. And in retrospect, I look at it and I'm like, wow, that was all because I was angry, and that was all because I wanted to figure it out on my own understanding and on my own strength. And I look at it now, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I get to be at this Bible college. I get to intern alongside some amazing people. I have a girlfriend that I've been dating for about 1.5 years,
Rachel.
which is, I think about it, I'm like, if we didn't move here, that would have been a thing.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many little things. The job I have right now, the opportunities that I'm gonna be walking into with real estate. It's just things that you wouldn't have known, you wouldn't have seen, but God knew.
And so somewhere at the beginning of that journey, you had to make a choice. I couldn't make it for you. And it was a choice to trust, even though the path ahead was very unclear.
Yeah.
And you said at one point, you said, I felt like God was punishing me. But what was he really doing?
Yeah, so it felt like a punishment. I think in that place of anger, you kind of, you make yourself a victim.
Yeah.
So you kind of play the victim card of, man, this is just because God's mad at me. Man, God likes my parents, but he doesn't like me. he likes them enough because, he's going to give them a great job. But what about me?
Yeah.
And so you kind of just, you become very selfish and very prideful. And it's hard to kind of see through that oftentimes. And so what I realized was it wasn't God pushing me away, but it was God saying, hey, let me partner with you right now.
Wow.
I'm not putting you in this trial to push you away, but to actually give you a chance to seek me and to partner with me.
Wow.
And so that's what I kind of had to realize was I couldn't do it by myself, and it wasn't in any way God pushing me away, but it was definitely him saying, let's do this together.
And I remember very distinctly you making that choice and then choosing to change your friend groups, choosing to go to Bible college, choosing to spend time in his word every day. And the fruit in your life was just incredible. And as a dad and your mom, we were just absolutely overjoyed. And now here we are 2 years later, and the fruit of that surrender in that point of not leaning on your own understanding, but choosing to trust him.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is trials are an invitation to trust.
Yep.
So how would you encourage those right now that are going through a trial or feel like maybe God just has it out for them because what's going on right now doesn't make sense?
Yeah, it's not a decision I made 2 years ago. It's a decision I make every single day.
Wow.
Wow. And I think if it's something that you think you can just do one time and be good, it's not.
Wow.
I have to wake up every day and be like, hey,
Yeah.
God, would you help me to trust? Would you help me to not walk by fear but by faith? It's something I literally have to pray every single morning. And so an encouragement would just be that it's so worth trusting. It's so worth partnering. Doing it on your own and doing it alone we're not built to do things on our own.
No.
Whether that's in a community of people or trusting God, we're not meant to do things alone. And so I would just encourage you to seek, to press in, to get in your word. I mean, that was one of the biggest things for me, is just
Right.
to get in my word and do some devos, because I knew that the more I pressed in, the easier it felt to partner with him.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow, thanks, buddy. I'm so
Yeah,
proud of you.
of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thursday Thoughts.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you.